Okay, so a lot here to break down. And first of all, let's just start with the top. So what we basically did was we grabbed the form from the query selector, and the query selector is just grabbing the DOM of the ID of form on our HTML page. So this is grabbing the form, and it has autocomplete off. And I think the reason why it has this is to remove any annoyance when typing inside of our form or when having to auto complete the form. It was something that he explained. We also grabbed the DOM of the note title and then the form buttons. So the note title is this is the note title. So if we go here and we go to note title, we'll see that it's an input, and then the placeholder says title, so it's this up here. And then we also grabbed the form buttons, and the form buttons is right here. So both of these buttons, the submit and the close, which don't actually do anything right now, but if we submit, it'll just submit basically nothing. So the input note text, take a note, that will automatically open with the title. And that's one thing I kind of want to replicate on my own and make sure that I actually understand. So I'll probably just end up making my own version. So something else that we did here is that we made sure that the add event listener runs when the app starts up. And we do this by saying this.add event listeners inside of our constructor. Something else to note is that when we grab DOM elements from the HTML in our JavaScript, we use the dollar symbol, and this signalizes that we're working with an HTML element as compared to data. So like this.add event listener is data, so it doesn't require that. So basically this function does something. It grabs the body event listener, so it grabs the body, and then when you click the body, it runs this function right here. So every time we create, or every time we reference a function inside of class, we have to use the this. So I remember there is a way to get around this by just making the default this on everything, but I guess for now, this is just how we're going to do it. So we handle form click, and then we run the event. And then here is the function itself that happens when we click on the body, the document body. So when we click on the document body, we're creating a const variable called isFormClicked, and we're basically watching out for this form, so this form right here, and then we want to see if it contains the event target. So the event target is something that will take place when, I'll show you, when you click on a form or on anything, you get an event target. So if we say console.log this.form.contains event.target, I think what you'll be able to see is that this says true. So if we clicked off, it would be false. So that's basically telling us that the this form contains event target is basically looking out for the event target, and the event target is initiated when you click on something. So clicking on the body will not initiate the form, it'll initiate the body of the document. So now we say if the form is clicked, we're gonna run the function open form. And then if the form is not clicked, so if we click on the body, we're gonna close the form. And the open form, it's basically saying this form, and then we're gonna class list add form open. So if we go to our CSS here, we will see that form open. If we can get there. Hold on, should have looked for this beforehand. So form open is basically this. And when we say class list add form open, it will, add that class list. And then also when we click, it's basically going to, run this function, and then it's going to say this note title style display to block. So by default, the note title and the form buttons are displayed to none. So let me see if I can find that real quick in the code here. Okay, overflow hidden, modal text, placeholder, form buttons. So here's the form buttons, and by default it's to none. So if we do block, we will see that, oh, okay, it still doesn't work. It should appear, oh, well, it needs the actual note title. So we have to look for the note title, and if we find the note title and we say set it to display block, and then we take the display buttons, put it to block, okay, well, nothing happens there either, and that's really weird. So let me go to my index.html, and then ID note title, placeholder text. I think it may be because we're running our JavaScript. So if we go up here and we just remove all of our JavaScript, we'll notice that it will be there indeed. So when you're building this, make all of your elements and then hide the ones that you don't currently need. So I'm gonna try to build something similar to this. Probably will have to think of something, and then I'm going to add the features in as I go to make my home project. So something I could build is like, I don't know, not a to-do list. Definitely not a to-do list. I don't know, I'll think of something that I can build that's very similar to this, and then we'll see if I can kind of do this kind of setup here. This video wasn't too difficult. It's really overwhelming sometimes because this is just something I don't know, and we're just jumping straight into projects. So I think what matters is that I do the solo practice and make sure that I'm actually learning these things. But I think that's pretty much it. Just going over some of these things. I think the best thing for me to do is to practice. So that is pretty much it.